something the poor buy and the rich sell. If you truly understand how capitalism manipulates your desires, you won't chase financial freedom anymore. You might even become a millionaire or billionaire, because from that moment on, you'll stop being exploited and start joining the ranks of those who exploit. Welcome to Money Tao. There's one question every human must eventually confront. Why do the rich, who already have more than enough, keep chasing more money? Take Jack Ma, for example. He makes hundreds of millions per minute, yet he once said he doesn't care about money. People laughed. They thought he was lying, pretending to be humble. But the truth? He wasn't lying at all. And if you really understand why, you'll realize it's the people mocking him who are deluded. Let me ask you, if I want you to work for me today, to sacrifice your time and energy for my benefit, how can I make you do it willingly? The answer is simple. Keep you steadily, systemically poor. As your wallet gets emptier, but your monthly expenses grow, you have no choice but to sell your labor and time to people like me. In other words, whether I personally make money or not doesn't matter. What matters is making you poorer, so the money in your pocket flows into my wallet, and then I use that same money to hire you back to work for me. So how do we keep the poor poor? Let's say I founded a luxury brand called Herm. Today, if I want any bag in the store, I just go and take it. I don't need money. If I like a new Porsche, I could just exchange 10 of those Herm bags for the car. Do I need cash? Or suppose I notice a woman I like. I tell her, go into my store and take any Hermes bag you want. Am I using money? No. I'm just using a logo, a symbol, a brand I invented. Because when you're rich, you don't need money. You only need something that others believe has value. And what about the poor? They spend their entire lives working to earn the money to buy the bags we invented, or spend it all chasing a woman. In the end, we just need a few imaginary bags, and we win both the money and the woman. Why? Because most people have fallen into the trap of consumerism. But why is this trap even legal? Look back at the pandemic. Just one global disruption collapsed all the usual taboos and boundaries. When a government wants to stimulate the economy, what do? They encourage spending. GDP, after all, is mostly made up of consumption, so you see endless policies like consumer subsidies, job subsidies, all designed to train you to spend. Why does inflation exist? Why do central banks keep printing money every year, even though it devalues their own currency? To send you a clear message. If you don't spend your money, it will become worthless. So, do you dare not to spend? The more you need money, the more desperate you become to earn it. And that's how the system survives. This world needs 97% of people to stay at the bottom, working, and only 3% to sit above, managing the rest. That's how it's always been. So how do you break into that 3%? Simple. Escape the trap of consumption and start creating the trap of consumption. Most people get rich by selling consumption, not by consuming. If you look at the world's top 100 richest people, how many of them made their money by shopping? 0. They became wealthy because they made the rest of the world consume their clothes, phones, platforms, shoes, and fantasies. And the irony? The moment you have money, you'll be tempted to spend it on consumption too. Why? Because rich people need your money to keep flowing, to keep you poor. You start buying luxury goods, cars, watches, clothes, then eventually houses and vacations. And in the blink of an eye, you're back to square one. And when you run out of money, you go back to work. For them. Let me explain why it's so hard to escape this. Suppose you earn $1,000 a month. The idea of buying a $5,000 handbag feels ridiculous. But once you start earning $10,000 a month, that same bag suddenly seems reasonable. You tell yourself, I deserve it. I've worked hard. But guess what? You've just fallen into the trap again, spending money to prove to others that you're no longer poor. Because the pain of being looked down upon hurts more than being broke. And here's the kicker. Those who sell luxury never need to advertise to the poor. They sell to the insecure middle class, those trying to climb higher, not realizing they're climbing a broken ladder. Why do people buy $2,000 shoes? because someone richer than them already bought $10,000 ones. And the guy with 10K shoes bought them because he saw a billionaire wear $100,000 customs. Everyone's trying to one-up someone else, while the people at the top don't even care anymore. That's the trap. Even more terrifying, they've made you believe that your identity comes from what you consume. You think you're stylish because you wear luxury brands. You think you're successful because you drive a Mercedes. You think you're different because you eat at expensive restaurants. In truth, you're just a walking billboard for someone else's business. The value of a Rolex, a Ferrari, or a Louis Vuitton bag isn't in the materials or craftsmanship. It's in the belief system you were taught. And who created that belief? The same people who own those companies. They convince you to desire, then they profit from your desire. This is why people say, rich people don't work for money, money works for them. But the deeper truth? Rich people don't chase money. They control attention. They shape culture, trends, and what people desire. And by doing so, they ensure that money chases them. So how do you escape? First, by realizing that every time you buy something, you're either building your identity or buying someone else's. Second, by understanding this. No one ever got rich buying luxury, but billions were made selling luxury. Luxury is not a product, it's a feeling, and feelings can be manufactured. The world doesn't need more things. It needs more people who feel like they're missing something, people who believe that buying will fill the emptiness. It doesn't matter what you buy, as long as you feel like you're getting closer to who you want to be. That's how they win. You're not buying clothes, you're buying confidence. You're not buying skincare, you're buying hope. You're not buying a car, you're buying status. And yet, none of it actually changes who you are, because once the initial high fades, you're left with the same doubts, fears, and insecurities. So you buy again. Consumption becomes emotional addiction. And the worst part? You don't even realize it's happening, because the trap isn't just financial. It's psychological. They tell you, treat yourself. You deserve it. Life is short. But they never say, invest in yourself. Own assets. Free your time. Why? Because they profit when you act on emotion, not when you think clearly. They built a world where attention is monetized, desire is manipulated, and debt is normalized. That's right, debt. The final chain. Think about it. Why do banks give credit cards to students with no income? Why do car companies offer 0% interest deals to 20-year-olds? Because they know once you get used to spending tomorrow's money today, you'll never go back. You'll become addicted to consuming now and worrying later. And then, once you're in debt, you lose the freedom to make bold decisions. You become cautious. You stay in jobs you hate. You obey orders. You play it safe. Because the debt owns you. And the lenders? They don't want you to default. They want you to keep paying forever. A perfect customer. And that's the real business model of modern capitalism. Not selling products, but selling lifestyle dreams attached to lifetime debt. Let me tell you a secret. The rich never use their own money. They borrow. They leverage. They move debt into assets, then turn assets into income. They borrow against assets not to consume, but to invest. That's why when interest rates are low, the rich get richer. They take out massive loans to buy stocks, real estate, businesses, things that generate income or increase in value. And what do the poor do? They borrow to buy new iPhones, cars they can't afford, and vacations they'll pay off for the next 2 years. So who does the bank love more? The one who borrows to grow wealth, or the one who borrows to show off? You already know the answer. Now ask yourself this. If the poor are spending everything they earn, and the middle class is trapped in debt, where does all the money go? Upstream, to the top, to the ones who created the system, to the ones who sell you dreams and lend you money to chase them. That's the loop. The rich lend, the rest spend. The rich own, the rest owe. It's why the same money keeps moving in circles, but always ends up in the same hands. So how do you escape? The first step is brutal honesty. Stop trying to look rich. Because pretending to be rich is the most expensive lie you'll ever live. You'll burn your future to impress people who don't care. You'll buy brands just to fit in. while the people who own those brands are fitting you into their income reports. Instead, choose the quiet path. Own fewer things, but more freedom. Wear simple clothes, but hold powerful assets. Let your money be boring, but your life be rich. In the beginning, it's hard. You'll feel behind. Your friends will laugh. Strangers will seem more successful. But in time, they'll be trapped in jobs they hate to pay for things they don't need, while you'll have time, freedom, and options. Because the real flex isn't spending money. It's not needing to. Money is not the goal. Control is. Money is just a tool that either works for you or against you. If you don't learn to master it, you'll spend your entire life being mastered by it. And don't be fooled. Even the rich are trapped when they chase money blindly. They just live in a more luxurious prison. They upgrade their cars, watches, mansions, but they're still terrified of losing status, still addicted to being admired, still playing the same game, just on a higher level. That's not freedom. True wealth isn't about having more. It's about needing less. It's not about owning things. It's about owning yourself. In a world that's constantly trying to sell you your own identity, the greatest act of rebellion is to be content, to be unseen, to be underestimated, to walk quietly while building something powerful. Because the more you build in silence, the less they can target you, the less they can sell you, the less they can control you. In the end, there are only two kinds of people: those who consume and those who create what others consume. Choose wisely. Time is limited, so I'll end here. I share this knowledge for free to help you become wealthy, independent, and truly free. If you don't want to miss the next video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with others. And to everyone who liked this video, I wish you financial freedom soon. Even if just 1 or 2 lines today helped you, that's enough for me.